presenting a PC-exclusive title rated T for Teen.
In a world of machines, technology, and future possibilities, one man faces the corrupt and seedy underbelly of technological implants. People have advanced far beyond their human capabilities. With the use of augmentations, they thought they had entered a new golden age of human existence, but not all is as it seems.
Upon entering the game, you will be presented a futuristic world that brings forth a surreal human evolution with a breathtaking utopic cityscape. The entire planet has been modified and updated with this advanced appeal throughout every city. The majority of your experience will be inside one cityscape that has an extremely dark sense of urban slum life. The slum life will make you feel that you are part of a broken and corrupt city, where every moment is uncomfortable and thrilling. To break away from the dark theme, a juxtaposed environment will offer you a chance to explore different parts of the city that include a sense of high life and immersion. While inside the upbeat parts of the city, you can explore something unique, fresh, and interesting to entertain yourself. This environment change will create contrast in which the light and dark sides of the city showcase the power of the economy. The main focus and appeal throughout the game will be the neon lighting. The appealing visual reference will be implemented within the environments, menus, and technical aspects of the gameplay. DeadSkin will be vibrant and colorful with neon lighting in spite of such a dark and twisted environment. City sounds and subtle music will set the surrounding theme that you will experience through the gameplay. The music will set the tone of the cityscape. Urban slums will be accentuated by dark music, but the high end of the city will offer you calm and serene music. During combat, the music intensifies and really makes the situation fast-paced. Despite the utopian appearance, perhaps there's still some light to illuminate the darkness within the underbelly of the city.
In the world of DeadSkin, mankind is upgrading themselves with many different kinds of augmentations in the form of bionic implants and robotic limbs. Because of these upgrades, humans are able to perform fantastic feats of speed, strength, and endurance. This divides the people that can afford these upgrades from those that cannot. This struggle divides the city into multiple districts, each with their own theme and economy. The advancements in technology has resulted in robots taking the brunt of the workforce, leaving many without well-paying jobs. With all this strife, many secret organizations have been able to flourish and war over the city streets as if they were puzzle pieces, none of them seeing the full picture. All except one that is controlling everything in the city from behind the scenes, the evil organization known as DeadSkin. You play as the disgruntled hero that has fallen from grace when one of their fellow co-workers decides that he likes DeadSkin's employee benefits more. Now on the bottom, you are forced to do odd jobs in the black market where you encounter X and their mysterious chip. After a mix-up at a dead drop, you use the chip and find that it has the power to hack into various nearby pieces of technology, as well as gathering information. Naturally, this draws the unwanted attention of many. You must fight for your life, or run and hide. No matter what you choose, you must find X once again and get rid of the chip before someone takes it from you by force. Even worse, you might lose yourself to the chip's influence and surrender your own humanity.
With a hero who's on the run and out of time, it's important to create mechanics and gameplay elements that reflect the desperate and dire circumstances of the world in which our game takes place. In the game, death is not what it used to be. Memory banks have popped up all over the city, and with them, thousands of people who want to live forever. These memory banks allow for the insurance of your memories. If you want to live forever, you have to give them your mind. That's not the only cost, though. Memory insurance costs credits, and credits are hard to come by unless you're born into a rich family. In the slums, people do all sorts of things for credits. Most of these jobs require scrapping dead bodies for valuable augments. After all, the dead litter this world now that people have little to no fear of dying. People are simply paying for their survival. You got credits? Well then, you have immortality. You flat broke? If so, you better not die. The number one rule nowadays, always have credits on you. At least enough for another sink in case things go sour.
By linking up to one of these memory banks, the player can save their game. There are two known methods to save, by either using a hardline or a wireless connection. Saving the game will cost a certain amount of credits. This will get more expensive if the player purchases one of the insurance packages. Once purchased, the player is guaranteed a specific augmentation upon revival. During the revival process, the music will filter out high frequencies. This will remove treble sounds from the surrounding environment, giving the player the feeling that they are more connected to the memory bank than the city that they are standing in.
These memory banks are the only luxury that people get to waste their credits on. Physical augments are a growing trend in this world, and they don't come cheap either. These things are so valuable that people will rip them off the dead, or even worse, the living. With this growing trend of body robbing, the average citizen has to be very careful about where and when they die. If you're lucky, you can find the old augments on your previous body, and these can be reattached to your new body upon revival. After all, credits mean survival, and who wants to waste some on new augmentations?
Augmentations can be scavenged from your body upon death. This does not happen instantly though. There's a chance for the player to retrieve these lost augmentations within a certain time limit. The time limit will be initiated upon revival of the player. If the player doesn't reach their body to retrieve their augmentations within the time allotted, they will be lost to the player. The augmentations aren't the only thing that the player can lose upon death.
As your memories are continuously uploaded to the cloud, little bits of information get lost each time. After all, the engineers at the Revive Center still haven't managed to achieve a 100% memory transfer, no matter how many credits you give them. The average memory transfer rate through a hardline connection is about 97%, but that's not always the case. If you're in a bad situation, you can pay for a wireless upload, but you better stay alive until it's finished. This information that's lost to the digital ether is known as humanity.
Humanity is the player's hopes, dreams, and personality. Each time you save your game, you store your humanity to ensure that you have a personality. However, your humanity can become lost during the course of the game. Continuously losing your humanity can cause different approaches and changes throughout the game. Such changes could include NPCs being reluctant to talk to the player. Be sure to retain the humanity or lose yourself becoming a machine. As you lose your humanity, the screen takes more of a technological appearance. Things like the health bar and the minimap will start to become more rigid and robotic in appearance. This change will communicate the current level of humanity to the player, without giving them a direct number or a stat associated with it.
With the core chip that's implanted in the hero, the player can remotely access different parts of the city's security network. Things, such as looking through the lens of a camera, now become as easy as looking through a window. With security drones being connected to each other, backup is always around the corner, waiting to flush you out in the open. This means that the hero will need to be smart and strategic. DeadSkin is too powerful an organization to be directly confronted, especially by one man. However, with the abilities that the core chip grants the hero, perhaps survival is a possibility.
Survival requires clever timing and quick movements. Moving around inside the world of DeadSkin will be snappy and responsive, making the player feel like they have total control over the character, as opposed to steering a heavy object. During movement, the camera will follow behind the player, giving the player a clear view of the environment and challenges laid out before them. The player's movements will also be tracked on the minimap. Using the minimap, the player can guide their way through the city and avoid danger if at all possible. Enemies will show up as red dots, while NPCs will show up as yellow dots. This overview of the map will give the player situational awareness that they can use to make decisions regarding combat.
Should the player choose to avoid combat, they can equip one of the common augmentations, a stealth generator. Upon activating this augmentation, the player will enter into stealth mode, barring that they are not heard. Within the user interface, the player, along with the action bar, will become translucent once entering into stealth mode. This will give the player visual confirmation that they are in stealth mode. Should the player attack while in stealth mode, they will do double damage. An unmistakable sound will then alert the player that they are out of stealth mode, and the player will be seen by surrounding enemies. Any noise created also has the potential to notify enemies of the player's location. Should the player attract attention or choose to enter into combat, they will use a melee weapon as a base attack. This will be accompanied by the use of basic and rare augmentations. These augmentations will give the player abilities that can be used on the action bar. The action bar will have 3 slots for common abilities and 2 for the rare abilities based upon what the player has equipped. The player can swap out these abilities at any time by changing augmentations. These basic augmentations allow the player to complete objectives throughout the game. Alternatively, the rare augmentations will make certain aspects of the game easier. This could include giving the player more health throughout the game, more strength during combat, or a little help solving puzzles. These rare augmentations might sound useful, but will not be needed in order to complete the game.
In order to complete the game, the player will have to track down and meet X. Upon meeting X, one of two endings will play out. These endings will be decided using your humanity level upon completion of the game. If your humanity level is high, you will find X and get the core chip removed. This will free you from constantly being on the run, as DeadSkin will no longer have a reason to hunt you down. If your humanity level is low at the end of the game, you will end up losing yourself to the chip's influence, becoming just another piece of tech in a tech-ridden city.
DeadSkin will be an intense stealth action adventure set in a neo-apocalyptic urban jungle. Living in the underbelly of the city, you do what you must to survive. Take arms against enemies that are after you. Fight your way across the city, or stealthily eliminate your foes as they find your trail. Every area will offer immense sound effects and dynamic music to capture the essence of your struggle. Survival also means obtaining augmentations, credits, and ensuring your memories. With memory insurance, you can never die, but this comes at a bigger cost: your humanity. The ultimate goal is to regroup with X by any means necessary. X must remove the chip's influence in order to retain your human nature. If not, you will lose your mind and succumb to the secret organization known only as DeadSkin.